to work a day in your life. Hello, I'm Mohnish Agrawal. Today I'll be discussing about data analyst as a career with Mr. Anurag Jain. Mr. Anurag Jain has been working as a data analyst for Unilever for the past 2 years. He also had an experience of more than 4 years as a data analyst at Accenture. So it's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mohnish. So let me give you some brief introduction about myself. I'm Anurag Jain. I've started my career from BCA and MCA. And after that, I have started my career from Accenture. And after that, I have worked in Unilever from last 2 years. I'm working in Unilever. So here I have worked as a data analyst, and here I have found so many opportunities to gather the data and find out some of the facts over there in the data. So those kind of activities I have performed, and really I'm enjoying right now by doing my work.
Okay. So just before we start and off and everything, could you tell me exactly what does data mean, and what do data analysts exactly do?
Okay. So data is something that store the information as we come in the computer field. So if you say the data definition, everybody knows there is a data, something that your employee name, like any student name, your address, mobile number, anything can be data. But what is the actual data that means? You might have heard about the Facebook. They used to leak the data, government used to penalize them and say them, no, it's not possible. How Facebook can lose the data and all. So data is very important part of these days because of working as a data analyst. We can summarize the data, we can find out the facts, we can find out the trends and what kind of market that we can find from the data. So data is very important part of everyone's life. If we say for the companies, for government, for anyone day-to-day life, if we are not doing anything, we are just using my mobile, that means we are generating the data. So data is something that you can't see, but that is very most strong popular thing in the market.
Okay. No, that's really interesting. That sounds wonderful. So could you share an example problem that you solve for your clients as a data analyst and how it contributed to society as a whole?
Okay. So as you know, if we take an example of a different changes. So this time, there is a very hot and outside. I'm in Indore and it's nearby very hot this time. So currently it's a lockdown, so I can't go anywhere. But previously we used to take the ice cream. Ice cream business is growing a lot. We generally goes to the ice cream shop and take plenty number of taste of ice cream that we used to get, right?
Yeah, sure.
So that kind of at what kind of ice cream we are liking, what kind of flavors that we are liking in the ice cream, that we used to generate the receipt from the data. So we used to gather the information like what kind of students or what minimum age limit of persons are purchasing this the ice cream. Then they are finding what kind of cost they are providing. If this cost for this flavor they are providing, then it is selling at a high rate. So those kind of general life example that we can get from the data, and those data analysts only analyze those kind of data. So they will take the bunch of data, they will categorize the data into different factors, by using this age limit is purchasing this much of profit, this much of profit they are providing to our company, this much of flavors it is sold by particular company on the particular time period. So we can target our production. Yeah, this much of production we have to do for the particular ice cream. This is just an example for the ice cream. This can be applied for any of the product that we generally use. So it can be contribute to society, because if there is a strong hold of the society, they want the ice cream at the particular time, but if that time the production is on low pace, then it will not be available. They will feel I want to have it something, but I don't have that.
Yeah,
So
so kids
that
like
feeling should
chocolate
not come.
ice
So,
cream, and the price goes up,
so
and parents say, no, you
correct,
cannot buy chocolate ice cream now. There's no chocolate ice cream
correct,
available in the market. So yeah, that all
correct.
problems are there, and yeah, that's really quite interesting. I'm very intrigued about it. Let's move on to the next question. So COVID pandemic has affected all of us, and we have moved from an offline setting to an online setting. Everyone has changed the structure of how they work online. Like, could you share a day from your life as a data analyst and how it looks like? Offline before the pandemic and online as well.
uh, Journey is quite interesting, but it looks like we have to work a lot this time, because as a data analyst, we have to go to the office. Generally, office timing will be, like 9 hours. We have to go and start our work. We have to see our meetings at what time meetings has been scheduled, and then we have to do the work, like some of the automation work that we have to do, some of the KPIs that we have to produce. There is a business analytics trend that we have to decide. We have to prepare the data, cleanse the data. So these are the similar kind of works that we used to do in our daytime, from starting from 9 to 6. But there is a lunch time, there is coffee time, there is uh,
Break
um,
time. Yeah.
many times we used to go for the tea as well and some widgets. But nowadays, when working in online, then we have our time as well, and we have that in the mind. Yeah, this thing we have to do as soon as possible. There is no meeting time, as I'll say, but in the meetings only we have to decide from the teams only, or from Skype, whatever running in the company. From there we have to decide and find out, yeah, this way we can work and finalize the things, we can generate this data and produce this data. Then in those ways we can decrease the timing of particular person, how they are working. So previously, suppose one report used to take 4 to 5 hours to generate. If we use the data analyst, they used to automate those reports, and it can be highly take 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
5 hours is reduced to 5 minutes. That you mean how much contribution that person is giving up for the data analyst. And previously, their report cannot be that much of accurate. Why? Because there can be a mistake possible from a human, but there cannot be any mistake possible if we are doing the same work from Python or from a data analyst job. So I use the Python. Python is a programming language in computer science. By using this Python language, we can do a lot of things. Different kind of language, sectors is available. There we use Python. So like mobile app development, game development, then website development, data analyst, data science, machine learning. So there is plenty of sectors are available. And these days, data science and data analytics are coming as a boom in the market, because as you have told in the, what is the difference of offline versus online? Online data collection is happening a lot, and we have to analyze that data. So
Yeah.
that data analyzation will taking a really most interesting part in our life, to find out what kind of trends it is coming up, what kind of facts it is coming up from the data. So future we can decide from that data, and historical data and the future both will generate and participate in our company's profit as well, and the society's profit as well.
Yeah. Computers are really, really exciting. They can automate all the tasks that we humans do, and it can accurately automate that, and it's very exciting to work on that. So, this all seems quite amazing to me, but there must be some drawbacks. So, can you tell me what are some of the things that you hate as a data analyst?
Uh, as you know, like if there is like timing will be decreased, that I know, but there can be a possibility of job loss, because those person is working from so many times to generate the same report. But if there is a data analyst will produce the data very accurate and very few time, then there can be a job loss. But I will say for prefer to them, like, yeah, whenever some person is working in a company or doing a job as a data analyst or is any KPIs creation or any other role, we have to learn actually, because this industry is always about the learning. How much learning that we go from the 1990 to 2021, you say, you know, there is only 30 years, but I will say it's not 30 years. It's the creation of the history that we have recorded in those 30 years, just starting from the small computer to the starting from the very like big computers to the small computers. This journey is going on, right? There
Yeah.
is previously data is not required. Nowadays data is the key important thing for any kind of company. So if we have that particular data, you can do anything about the data, about the company, right? So that is why government is also keening and taking the place and seeing that opportunities, and company as well seeing those opportunities. So that kind of job loss or job loss can be a possibility. Also, if there is someone who is the like hackers will say, or like bad persons that we will say, they can also harm the data, that can be help like the problems for the society, that can cause a problems to the society. So you know, like data leak can also be a possibility while working as a data analyst that we used to see, because the data will be available to particular data analyst, and that he can like make the data and break the data. So both the possibilities will be there.
Yeah, so that's the problem. I think that's a thing that has been associated to almost all the CS fields. So all the
Correct,
automation tasks in CS have been taking up quite a lot of jobs. So yeah, I
correct.
think that's one of the bad or negative. It's not negative. It also creates a lot of boom in the economy. So we
Correct.
cannot exactly say what's happening, but yeah, it's one of the bad parts. But yeah,
So
what
that's what I
we
said,
have
like,
to
yeah,
start learning.
learning is the
We have
best.
to adapt to technology
Learning
as
is the
well.
best key thing. You don't need to learn for the particular technologies. Instead, you have to grow day by day, but for the different technologies, you know, so
Yeah.
that we can learn about something, we can grow our career as well as the company growth we can involve. So in that ways, if we like work in our daily life, because in the pandemic we have a lot of time, you know, working in a company and studying, both can be possible at a single day, because we have that much of time. We don't have to go anywhere. We can prepare our food and start working and start studying. Although as a CS background or an IT company, there is a like good thing that they will give a 2 days of holiday at least. So we have our self time as well, so that at least we can like enjoy learning things, learning the new things. So that will be the motto for every student that will be coming up to the IT job, that don't stop learning, because that will grow your career. That will be the most important thing for you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot. So now, could you tell me some of the other possibilities and avenues for growth as an entry-level data analyst?
Okay, so are you saying about the starting career in the data analyst, or someone who is started studying from engineering colleges and then started building a career?
Yeah, so he's just starting. Suppose a student is just starting his career in a data analyst as a data analyst.
after
Like, what can he
after
do
college?
afterwards? Yeah, in the future, what are his prospects as well?
Okay. So see, while starting the college, if you say there is a engineering, right? So nowadays, only engineering is not possible. Nowadays, knowledge is the key thing. Whatever you have done BA, BCom, BSc, BCA, or BE, or whatever kind of the graduation and post graduations are available. Only the thing is, you must have the knowledge. Whatever you are studying, that should come to your contribution in a society or in a company. So whatever, like in the, if you want to grow your career in the data analyst, you have to decide which is, can be Java, can be C, C++, can be Python, can be any of the other programming languages. But I will prefer the Python, because market is in the boom right now. So Python is the most successful and growing technologies in the IT. So I will say Python programming will be the best. then you have to decide your career. You want to go in the web development, as I have already mentioned, where Python can be used. So if you want to grow towards the mobile development, towards the game development, towards creating a standalone softwares, but the most important, data analyst, machine learning, neural technologies and all, right? Neural networks is here, and then neural technologies is so many neural kind of technologies growing up. So in the hardware, if you want to go, hardware is also like based on the neural technologies, like Raspberry Pi. There's a very small
Yeah.
processor they used to go, and with the Python programming used to handle those softwares and incorporate with the different machines. So in those part, we can grow as a data analyst. What I'll say for the students who just started their career, just read one of the programming language, read the interview questions, do most practice, because practice is the most key in the in any of the IT. If they will ask any questions, you should answer those questions on the basis of the practice that you did, right? And then there is a libraries, different kind of libraries like pandas is available, numpy, scikit-learn, keras, tensorflow. So those libraries, they can learn and grow their career in the data analyst field.
Okay. Okay, that's all. That's right. So yeah, and it's time. I think it's time to conclude this session. Just one last question. So what would you like to Would you like to tell something to our viewers who are aspiring to become data analysts?
Yeah, so I was saying, like, as a data analyst, I was enjoying my journey, and I would love everyone to come into the field and start learning and doing the great things. Like, as I have told, data will be the new future for everyone, and the current is also the data, right? So if we contribute as a data analyst, we can analyze the data, we can use the financials to record the data, and find the financial trend and the technical trends into the particular data that is changing from the society, so that can contribute to the company and as well as society. So that will be important message for everyone. Start learning, start growing.
Yeah, very well, sir. Thanks a lot. It has been a real pleasure knowing you and talking to you.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Mohnish.